I am really interested in kind of seeing who's using what. Right, we have Corners and Comfy sticking to the guns, XM4s across the board for them, and Alex and Prufio also, pretty much sticking to what they've been doing. Prufio's been running a 74U for the entirety of the tournament.
Yeah, see, you know what? Why fix what's not broken, right? So if it's working for Prufio, if Prufio's continuing to have strong games like we saw on that Crossroads earlier, then more power to Prufio. And just really excited to see Prufio. Like I said, at the start of the map, already with 3 kills, got a huge 2-piece there to get that initial time that he's going to be getting right now. Alex looked like already going towards that green room, maybe trying to cut off people from the catwalk, but first 25 seconds are going to be going to Prufio pretty much uncontested. Just had to get a quick 2-piece there. All of a sudden, Alex and Prufio shot in the back by Wally, and next 15 seconds or so should be going to corners here.
Yeah, it looks like Wally's going to go ahead and rotate early here. He's going to be taking a look at Cobble here at Bricks, trying to make sure these guys can't get into the hill for free. Wally doing his best to stay alive. Corners picking one up over in short. It looks like they are able to get these spawns here.
Yeah, it seems as if Prufio wasn't too focused on the spawns, really more so just focused on getting this initial time, and it seems like Corners and Wally were more interested in setting up this pinch right now, which they've done beautifully, absolutely perfectly timed. And although Prufio is able to get one, Corners staying alive in the hill. Alex has a bit of a slow start. Would like to see first kill coming in. Always the hardest. The hardest kill to get is that first one, especially if you're maybe something like a 0-10 or so. Not that he was, but it can be really difficult. You start getting your own head, maybe try a bunch of different guns, take gunfights that aren't good for you, and it's nice to see him get on the board there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always nice to have that duo that you can kind of rely on, right? It's always like, hey, like you take over this map, or you grab the kills, and I'll just grab the objective or whatever. So I mean, in duos, that's pretty much what you have to do here. As we move into this third hardpoint here, and it looks like Prufio and Alex have just rotated early.
Yeah, it's whatever's it's working for him. You want to keep getting those early rotations. Unfortunately, with Prufio dying in the back, Alex is the one who was in the hard point there, and they're going to lose spawns. So this is going to be a little bit harder now for them to break, seeing that there is a 2AR setup from Corners and Wally here. I mean, they have a little bit more range on Prufio, but Prufio 8-4, 45 seconds in the hard point, make it 9-4. And they're going to break that with a little of too much ease, honestly, but very, very back and forth so far, within 20, and just can't wait to see if this hopefully is a match that's going to stay close the entire time. Now, it looks like Corners looking to get this scrap time here, this last 10 seconds, and while doing that, he is going to make Wally spawn on that bottom right corner of the map that you see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there. But something I do want to mention is, seeing that this is a tournament where there is a loser's bracket, Corners and Wally have to win 2 best-of-3s here in order to win this tournament. Whereas Alex and Prufio, coming from winner's bracket, only need the 1. So that's the advantage you get for not losing any series throughout the entirety of a tournament, and should see Alex and Prufio try their absolute hardest to make sure they close it in one series, because you never want to go to a second series. It can get a little bit in your head. Prufio on that 5 streak, minute 13 in the hill. Prufio is just not slowing down right now.
Yeah, usually what happens is in grand finals, the whoever's in the upper bracket tends to slow down a little bit, just because they had a little bit longer to play, or a little bit longer that they had to wait. So what happens is it usually becomes a factor, but when it's only a best of 1 that you're waiting for, it's almost like, this is my bathroom break, this is my water break, right? Like, exactly. Put me back in, like I'm ready to go.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you're only waiting for one hardpoint map that, at max can take 12 minutes, then you have time to go eat a snack, maybe go to the bathroom real quick, and all of a sudden, as soon as you're back, you're into your next match is up, and you're like, oh, perfect, I just needed a second of break, which is exactly what they got. And Prufio will not stop getting 2 pieces right now, and just absolutely lasering every single person. Are we sure that his gun isn't made of laser beams?
I don't know. It's like Alex doesn't even have to do anything right now. This man literally went from one side of the map to the other, picked up both spawns.
Yeah. Prufio is shooting like an ICR that's in a 74. Are we sure that gun shoots bullets?
It's
Or
probably
is
a
he
skin.
shooting little grenades out of there? Oh my goodness.
So he finally gets taken down there. We'll see if we can get something going here for the side of Corners and Wally in this second rotation. I mean, they're going to have to try and maybe slow these guys down, maybe try and pick them apart. So it's going to be different in terms of this second rotation in what they want to do, right? So Wally and Corners, whatever they've been doing, it hasn't worked so far. So they need to switch it up just a little bit, try and get a couple kills. And I just maybe bait these guys into like hitting the hill.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, there's a lot of one-on-ones that are kind of being taken against Prufio right now. And even if it's not a one-on-one, he seems to be winning the one-on-twos. But if you continually have Prufio in those one-on-two situations, then eventually you're going to start getting, you know, him frustrated and maybe you have the ability to cut him down. But what I really want to see is I would love to see Corners or Wally, just whoever's more comfortable with the 74U, pull one out, because there's clearly a presence on the hardpoint that is not being matched right now on the other side of the map, or other team right now. And I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that Prufio's got an SMG. Currently has 24 kills and 8 deaths. That is a 3.0 KD.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the time to kill on that 74U is just a little bit better than the XM4. It's just that XM4 just at medium ranges tends to be a little bit better, right? I do think, though, as much as we've seen the XM4 throughout the entirety of the tournament, when you start playing at these like higher levels, you almost always find yourself in the position where the 74U is just a better choice.
Exactly, and the situations that you're seeing, like you said, the 74U is just, you know, the XM4 is a good flex weapon. It's good to have those mid-range gunfights, but you know, like you said, you'll win some long-range gunfights and you'll win some close-range gunfights, but it is tough to win those close-range gunfights against the 74U. It's just, it really is the better weapon for the situation. And it looks like someone on the opposing team might have pulled out a 74U, as I don't think that's Prufio's 74U. So I'm curious to see if maybe Wally pulled out a 74U. It looks like he did. So it might be getting to them that they might need a little bit more aggressive SMG presence on the map here.
Yeah, so I think it should definitely play in their favor. It just really depends on how they're going to play. It looks like he's able to kind of switch it up just a little bit. He's not pushing those like long range, the long lines of sight. But it's still going to be really difficult, especially with such a lead that Prufio and Alex have gotten to.
Yeah, and I actually really liked that setup there for the second that we saw it, where you had Alex looking at caution, then you had Prufio looking at vents. Even though there's not too much space to look at there, they know the only other option for Wally and Corners to break through is to go all the way around through long. So they have this entire front portion of the maps like completely closed off, and it just, you either give up 10 seconds to flank fully, or you push in and you get headbutted and die. And it's actually perfect hold there from Prufio and Alex. Absolutely just a dominating display on this first
two angles
map.
as opposed to, you know, 4 or 5.
Exactly. And I think on the back of Wally there, I was gonna say I thought I saw another AR, so it looks like they're going back to that AR SMG setup, and Corners and Wally's gonna actually pick up a 2-piece off the rip to get this initial time. But what I'm really curious about again is does Prufio stay on this hot streak that, yeah, it seems like he might be, because a 2-piece off the rip yet again. This is one of those. This is going to be hopefully, you know, like that first Garrison rotation, a very, very close game. You see, Alex was top ring there. Corner's going to get that trade after Alex takes down Wally. But right now, what we're looking for is, with the rotation, will we see a rotation rather from Wally and Corners, since they have those disadvantageous spawns. They have that garage spawn off the rip, and that is a very, very difficult spawn to. It could be a very difficult spawn to flip if Prufio and Alex play in the back jungle area behind kitchen. It looks like Corners wanted to contest for a second or two there, but Wally already set up in the new one, and if he can get this kill on Prufio, and he's gonna predict Alex to be in the back, just a little unclear on how close he was. So the spawns are gonna come in on the backside for Prufio and Alex, so it's really all just about can Corners get that kill. Wally's gonna get the trade, but the spawns are just so far away for Wally and Corners that it almost seems to make much of a difference.
Yeah, honestly, from what I've been seeing so far, I think Corners should be the one pulling out a 74U. He's been playing fairly aggressively, and in those tight corners and like just the way that he slides in and stuff, I would almost prefer to see him with that 74U. It just seems like he's more of an aggressive player. Whether that's, you know, him getting them losing or him getting slayed out by Prufio over and over again. It's hard to tell, right? You can't really get into the minds of these players. But from what I've seen, Wally tends to be a very calm and collected player. Corners as well, but there are times where if you're falling behind, and you're starting to chow certain scenarios with an XM4, you're sliding in, trying to hit corners. Maybe the XM4 isn't the right gun that you should be using. You know, maybe just switch it up and run that 74U.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying right now. Even if, you know, it's your preferred gun, I think at some point as a player you have to recognize when something just maybe isn't working for you. And I will say Wally did get a nice 2-piece there to hold off the push into this hard point that they rotated early for, but you're going to see actually Wally pull out a Krig. Now, this is incredibly interesting because I don't think the issue was really based on the XM4. I think it has more to do with the aggressive SMG as opposed to needing a more long-range assault rifle. So I'm interested to see how this will work out for Wally here, but
this could also be, you know how you were talking about earlier, how there are certain hills where you want to switch weapons. This could be like Wally's iteration of it, right?
yes.
Usually what you'll do is you'll go from like an XM4 to a 74U. It's very rare that you'll go like XM4 to Krig, just because both of those weapons tend to kind of hold their own in that mid to long range.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Although right there you will see exactly, you know, Prufio just knows that right there Wally had that XM4, so he knew it was incredibly easy to just, I can slide in there, got a 74U, it's way better up close than Corners, or rather Wally's Krig 6, and just knowing he can take that gunfight with a lot of ease. And Prufio's going to be on a 5-kill streak now. Corners on the back staircase, looking to try and contest some time here, but this has been a rough start so far for Wally and Corners.
Yeah, Alex is already making a move here, trying to get behind these guys. And honestly, it looks like he was just kind of hunting and searching for these guys, getting ready for this next hill.
Yeah. You will see Corners get that first kill for initial time, and you're going to see a split come in here for Alex and Prufio. So this is something that Wally and Corners are not set up for. Wally on that mid staircase is going to challenge one, but just taking it, you know, gets the trade, does Prufio, and it's very, very clean break. Very, very elementary for Prufio and Alex there, as they had a perfect pinch thanks to a split spawn, and something that you just really love to see here from Prufio and Alex, who are just continuing to dominate on this map right now.
Yeah, you can see here that these guys are pretty much working each corner, going corner to corner to just kind of watch each other's backs.
Yeah, Prufio actually is going to go on a 10, make it 11 kill streak, nearly 2 minutes in the hard point right now, and this is something that you got to shut down. This is what I was talking about in that first map, is you really got to just 2-on-1 Prufio and really try and shut down this kind of player, because if you let a player who has the ability to go on to that 11 streak to go on said 11 streak, then you're really just giving them confidence, and they'll start challenging more and more, and that makes it a lot harder on you when you're, you know, maybe not feeling great about the way you're shooting right now. So this is something that is, Prufio is just absolutely on a hot streak right now. Just does not seem to want to lose this. And to your point, Corners has pulled out a 74U.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it might be one of those things as well where is it too little too late, and it's still to be seen, right? There's still almost another hard point of points left before the game is over, 60 seconds or so, 50 I guess at this point. But Alex and Prufio are just really well set up, you know, taking these 45 seconds on this hill, and it looks like they're getting ready to rotate already, with Prufio already on the next hill.
Yeah, so this is kind of the exact opposite of what we saw in the first hard point, the first rotation rather, with, I believe it was Wally who was already set up in that kitchen area, who got a kill onto, I want to say, Prufio pillars, which is quite ironic, the flip that happened there. But there's only about 40 seconds left in the game that Prufio and Alex need in order to win. So at this point, if Wally and Corners don't play absolutely flawlessly, then this is going to be a very tough game for them to win. And Prufio and Alex just continue to hold spawns, continue to just rotate appropriately, and this is getting incredibly difficult. Within 20 seconds now of winning are Alex and Prufio, and you will see a spawn flip. You will see corners spawning in the back there. It's just, is it too little too late? Prufio gets, I want to say, a 3-piece there, because I'm pretty sure he also killed corners who made him spawn there. But so Prufio is absolutely just trying right now. 25-11, 2 minutes 43 seconds in the hard point, and goes for a little bit of the ego chow there for the 5 streak at the end. 250-75.
Yeah, this is going really well. At least it went extremely well for Prufio and Alex. These guys pretty much came into the tournament completely fired up. Watching these guys, I'm pretty sure I watched them earlier in the round. Their first matchup was a little bit closer than this past one, I think.